Hello, viewers. The sea has never been friendly to man. At most, it has been the accomplice of human restlessness. Joseph Conrad. Explore, take risks. Your first captain will probably die. Later captains may succeed. I am Ragnatz, and this is Sunless Sea. We are doing another Low Bias Monthly for the month of October. Coolio chose this month. He chose trading games, games where trading resources is a major mechanic in the game. So I picked this one because I really like it. I played it about a year ago and totally fell in love with it, and then I took a break because I had a very sad failure at one point and needed some time off. But now that I am doing this Let's Play, it's a good reason to come back. In fact, this month they just released a new expansion. I don't have it yet, but I will probably be getting it soon. This game is actually a spin-off of a game that used to be called Echo Bazaar. Now it's called Fallen London. It's a free web game, and it takes place in the city of Fallen London. These two games are very strongly connected to each other. So if you like what you see, I definitely would suggest go check it out. So let's start a new game. Most enemies can't. By the way, the music for this game is amazing. Alright, so we have two major interfaces in this game. We have the book, which lets you select options, and then we have the actual sailing around. So we start off making our captain, and we can choose a past, or we can take a past wreathed in shadows. I'm going to take the past wreathed in shadows. It allows us to jump into the game faster, and it actually gives us access to a bonus item later in the game. So, for now, you are a mystery. An occurrence, your address as quality is now Mumble. Your a stranger quality has gone. Welcome to the world. You now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Someone is looking for passage. So, someone wants to board my ship. So, someone in the docks wants to board your ship. Agree to carry the august travel writer to Gator's Morn. I don't know where Gator's Morn is yet, but sure. It's been a long time since I played this game. But yeah, Gator's Morn is usually pretty close. So the August Travel Writer shakes your hand. His grip is distressingly strong. Thank you. It's Gator's Morn I'm bound for first, he says. I hear they... He hurries over to your stoker, who is carrying his steamer trunk up the gangplank. No need to trouble yourselves. Give it here. Remember, Mumble, Gator's Morn. I'll pay you 150 echoes when we arrive. Ooh, that is a good start. Advice for captains. On endings and beginnings. Captains often die. This is not the end. When you die, you'll learn lessons which will help you survive next time. Beware. The layout of the Untersee changes with each new captain, but home waters are stable and islands will only move so far. Legacies. Future captains can inherit some skills, officers, equipment, and money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that allow you to preserve a greater inheritance. What I was just talking about is one of them. On exploration. Exploration is the heart of the game. Risk brings reward. Staying close to London is safe, but eventually you'll run out of fuel and supplies. Exploring and playing port stories will allow you to find secrets and echoes. Echoes is the main currency in this game. Spending secrets and echoes. Speak to your officers to spend secrets on improving your abilities. Spend echoes on equipment and ports. You can often find officers in London. So because I'm in a past Wreathed in Shadows, I don't get a starting officer that normally I would get otherwise. On Mercy. Unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave, updated when you reach port and wiped on death. If you're getting frustrated or want a more leisurely exploration, you can switch to Merciful mode. Merciful mode. Saving or loading manually will permanently switch your character to Merciful mode. This will remove the Invictus token. Completing a game with the Invictus token intact is a badge of honor. Well, that's how we're going to play then. On machines. Your prow lamp dispels darkness, reduces terror increase, allows you to find Z marks, which are like landmarks. Your engines, of course, drive the ship forward into the night. Both your prow lamp and your engines use fuel. More powerful engines use more fuel, but all lamps use fuel at the same rate. Do not try to run out of fuel. Try not to run out of fuel. Note that the Admiralty will compensate you with fuel for port reports. On finding places to explore. Use the Z-Bat Scout. Technically, it's a chiropteroscope, but we're among friends here. Z-Bat? Press Z or click the Z-Bat button at the bottom of the screen, and it'll tell you where the nearest undiscovered island is. Be warned, if you're moving, it will give less accurate directions. Pause to get the most accurate reading. Psh. Okay, on fighting. When your enemy... I like that saving every time I'm reading one of these things. When your enemy is in the arc of your guns, you'll see the firing solution. The glow around the fire buttons increase. When it's complete, let them have it. You can fire earlier if you like, but may miss. Larger ships may have access to different gun slots. Avoiding enemy attacks. A green glow means your enemy is in the light. Enemy ships also have an arc on their guns. Try to stay out of their way. Enemy Z-Beasts will generally try to ram or bite you, and they'll submerge between times to avoid your attacks. If you're careful and turn your lights off, you may be able to sneak up behind them and get a shot in first. On stories. When you put into port, you can generally explore and exhaust the story options until your next visit. Something awaits you. If you have the something awaits you quality when at Z, you know that more story is waiting for you when you make port. It'll crop up whenever you're sailing around. If you see a flavor passage like Distant Bells, that means you have something awaits. If I remember correctly, the flavor passage actually tells you what the random seed number of your awaiting story is. So you can use that to manipulate certain events. Unfortunately, I don't remember what sort of events we want to do that with. Terror. Terror increases gradually over time when you're out at Z, away from land. Watch the skull. When you see orange or red pips, terror will bump up if you spend much longer in the frightening place. Many events will increase it too. How do I reduce it? Use shore leave in London, or in other ports, but London is most cost effective to reduce it. Lots and lots of other stories increase or reduce terror. Oh yes, oh yes. On news stories. We'll add news stories to the game from time to time. You can download them from the main menu. Registering and Fall in London. You need to register an account with our system to download stories. Coincidentally, this also gives you a login to our odd, rich cult browser game at www.fallinlondon.com. You should definitely give it a try if you like the world of Sunless Sea, but it's 100% optional. I definitely suggest it if you need a free game that's full of rich story. Sell this book! You're a veteran captain, require no more advice? Very well then. Blink! And I just got another 50 codes. Alright, let's see what else we've got here. Fall into conversation with another Z captain, one with at least one voyage to their credit. Earnest advice. Sure. They've paid dearly to learn these lessons you'll gain from their scars. Stamford's Expanse and the Reef. Your helmsman's hands shaking, turn back before the dreams begin. The flukes are old, as the powers of the Z go, but they're not the oldest. The Bazaar, too, is a power of the Z. You now have 3 secrets. And I've heard the veteran's advice. So we have our lodgings, where we can read the morning paper and get one recent news. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The Traitor Empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallblighter wasps. I don't know if I'm always going to read this stuff, but at least for major story stuff I will. So visit your study. I cannot actually do so because I need to upgrade my lodgings to a townhouse or mansion. Rest in the room above, so that's what I have right now. That will heal me, but I don't have any terror, so there's no reason for me to do it. Purchase an elegant townhouse. I need 1,000 echoes. I have 100, so that is a good first goal. Consider retirement. Well, once you've upgraded your house, you can potentially just end the game early, but that's silly. So back to the city. Yep. So we have the Admiralty Survey Office. That's what they were talking about before. So let's go check them out. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The Survey Office pays Z captains a small sum for recent information. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. The first time you trade in a port report, you'll gain Admiralty's favor. So let's see where they want me to go. They want me to go to Gator's Morn in the Corsair's Forest. Somewhere not far from home waters. That's true. And once I have done 3 ports, then the Admiral will actually talk to me. What else is in London? So there's a university. So they will buy secrets. And now I've met the antiquarian, and I've gained 1 pages. So actually, yeah, I should go talk about the stats soon. The alarming scholar is mercurial, to say the least. A creature of sudden moods and provoking teeth. Possibly her. Is it her? Appointment at University Maritime Liaison was precautionary. To keep his, is it his? Razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the faculty. Ah, yes, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? So the scholar wants searing enigmas. So I can either bring in 1, I can bring in 7, and that will give me something else. Or it'll make something happen, but I will lose the ability to use the scholar. Extraordinary implications. I have a Whisper lockbox. Ask the scholar about the Whisper lockbox. Cobweb light silver tumblers will align if the words are right. But what are the words? Perhaps the makers of the box will know. And so this is something that because I've played Fallen London and have an account there, I've gotten the box. So asked him, her, it. I've asked them the thing. Okay, I have an idea where it's from, but it's a long way there, and I may be wrong. So perhaps I rather like the box. Perhaps you should simply sell it to me. Nope. Irem, I'd say. The Iremi like locks. They like puzzles. They can make things that are honestly implausible. Their city is perched on a parabola's rim, like a hummingbird on a finger of God. Go to Irem. Perhaps they can open it for you. Perhaps they can tell you how. So, now I have a quest to go to Irem in the far northeast corner, which is going to take a while. So let's see what else. So, Carouse and Wolf Stack Docks. This can reduce terror, or run into trouble, or romance, but I am not able to do it because I do not have a free evening. Hire on more crew. I could get more crew members, but I think I want to save my money for now. Put my ship in dry dock for repairs. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite. Sure. And then if I had if I have a new recruit waiting for me, I can potentially get one here. So we'll take. Okay, so It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart, your crew cart one, bleh, your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. Tomb colonists is in your hold. Take them north to the colony in Venderbite and sell them there. Cool. So that's all the places we can go here. So that was in the story section. So we have also hold. Jeez, there's some lag going on. I don't know what's up. So the hold shows us our ship. So right now, my cargo is 16 of 40, so 40 maximum. 10 is fuel, 5 supplies, 1 tomb colonist. I also have an Invictus token, which proves that I'm awesome. The Whisper lockbox, which I got for playing the game, for playing Fallen London. I have 2 secrets because I spent 1, and I have the recent news. Curiosities do not take up cargo space, but cargo does. I have my engine and my deck gun, which shows my gun will do 10 to 14 damage to hull. It'll do 7 to 9 damage to creatures. It'll kill 1 crew if the opponent is below 50 hull, and it takes just shy of 4 seconds to recharge. Journal. So the journal, well, here, your journal. Objectives and story progresses are on the right hand side. Move over an icon or click the category heading to see details and settings ale. Click the launch button to report. Okay, you know what? I don't need that. So let's get our gazetteer back. So so we have this, which is just saying I'm a mariner. I know something of the Untersee. I have 1 level of favors with the antiquarian. My memoir is saying that I have just the basic room and that I have a past wreath in shadows. Like, these are just pretty much keeping track of things that I'm doing. Objective is the most important one because it'll tell you what your quests are. Though this actually is sort of a quest. But anyways, moving on. Officers. I don't have any other than my mascot, the comatose ferret, which just gives me +1 hearts. And I can talk to it, and I can play with the ferret. Yeah. Blink. Play that eye roll says, play. I played once in the happy warrens of London before you installed me in this floating coffin and made me eat dried fruit. Damn your play. It's an eloquent eye roll. Yeah. There's no real reason to play with your comatose ferret. But other officers will be worth talking to. Shops. So there are a whole bunch of shops in Fallen London. And there are less shops in other locations around the Undersea. So if you didn't sell your advice for captains directly, you can sell it here. Fuel is important for being able to move your ship. You can use flares to reveal enemies that are trying to hide. Well, actually, no. It makes them easier to see, which means you can speed up your cooldown for attacking. Supplies. Your crew needs to eat. Firefox candles. I don't actually know what they do. They might not do anything. So then these are resources that are tradable. These ones over here that only say sell are things that we have to get elsewhere and can sell here. Then there are things that I can buy and I can sell elsewhere. And I feel like I remember mushroom wine being something I can sell in Vanderbite and being profitable. So I might do that. Naval surplus is weapons. Caminus yards are better weapons, but they are expensive. Iron of Misery is engines. House of Vision are lights. And as you can see, some different lights will give you different stats. And that is, for the most part, that. Alright, so let's buy a bunch of mushroom wine. And hope that I'm right. Okay, let us set sail. So over here we have our speed and our hold capacity and our hull. And this is not the way out, but there's a reason I'm going this way. Here's our fuel. Alright, so because I found the Department of Menace Eradication and the Echo Bazaar, I just got a bunch of fragments, and if I can max out my fragments, I get a secret. And the more pages I have, the higher my starting fragments are each time. So it's totally worth it, if possible. And you really want the light out so you can see, so you can find new locations. Oh, there you go, distant bells. So now something's going to be waiting us in port. And we found Hunter's Keep, which is a good port to go to. So yeah, we will be discovering little places as we go. And there's a good chance that I will frequently throughout this Let's Play be quiet when we are sailing, just because the music is really nice and atmospheric. Alright, so we've reached Hunter's Keep. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other undersea islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship aside. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. So you can present yourself at the house, walk in the gardens, reconnoiter the island, or even spy on the house, which requires me to have veils, and I have a 75% chance of succeeding. Let's try spying on the house. So okay, so so unlocked when sojourning with the sisters is you know something. Do I already have some Hunter's Keep stuff? No, so it doesn't sound like I should be able to do that. Okay, walk the gardens is unlocked when sojourning with the sisters is blank. Reconnoiter the island. Okay, so reconnoitering the island will get me a report for the island. So the sea silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house, and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. So, okay, let's try spying on the house. So, piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. The third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. "Soon," she says, and the piano music falters and stops. "We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you." The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. "Hush! If we don't speak of it." She frowns. "Has she seen you at the window?" You withdraw. You succeeded in a Veils challenge. Now I know something of Hunter's Keep, and I earned 40 fragments for doing that. Now let's present ourselves. Why not? So a maid, knock and enter. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor, where 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. And the cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? So I am now acquainted with them, and the air trembles, a breath of change passes. So I can have lunch with any of the 3 sisters. So let's try lunch with Phoebe. Here's a story. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The undersea shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finish the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. That's all for now. You now have 1 memory of distant shores. I'm acquainted with the sisters. I gained a supply, and my crew are now not hungry anymore. So, and no change in the fragment and occurrence. The gods of the sea, Storm's attention quality is now exclamation point. Now I can also bring them some recent news, and that will let me talk to them a second time. So let's do that. No longer have recent news. This time let's talk to Cynthia. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop? Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. So I gained 1 terror, so I'm now wary. I gained a tale of terror, and 1 extra supply. My iron did not change. Oh, right, I haven't talked about stats. Blah! And that is really all to do there right now. So we have different stats. There's iron, which is your attack stat. Mirrors, which is your perception stat. Veils, which is your stealth stat. Pages, which is your knowledge stat. And hearts, which is your charisma stat. I have also 8 crew members, and this is what I look like with the name Shadowed Stranger. At any point I can decide that I want to have a past, and then I can change my appearance and my name. And I probably will after I've earned the thing that having no past entails. Bat swarms. Ugh, I hate bat swarms. Let's try to... Oops, that was not the button I wanted to push. This is the button I want to push. But fortunately, because I burnt some of my fuel, I was able to speed up, and there we go. A whole bunch of things interesting. Here's Vanderbite, and I think this is also discoverable, so let's discover this too. Yep. Let us come to port. and we dock. Trouble with tomb colonists. You've brought the decaying emigrants north. Now what? Watch carefully. Something is happening to the man in the bandages. He sighs, he groans, he clutches his chest. A soft explosion. His bandages burst. Frost moths clamber from the tatters. Nothing of him remains. The frost moths' icy wings shining, take to the air, spiral, dissipate, are gone. He won't pay his passage now. At least he's left his belongings for sale. You've gained 100 echoes. New total, 116. You brought the tomb colonists to Venderbite, only for them to dissolve. You lost one tomb colonist, but I've gained one outlandish artifact. You've gained 2 supplies, total 9. And let's check the shops. So I bought the wine for 21, and I can sell it for 23. So that's at least 2 extra echoes per. And then also here I could theoretically sell my Memory of Distant Shores. I could sell my recent news. The Monstrous Almanac is really great to sell, but you should probably keep it because it's also a really great item. And then you can sell Tomb Colonists here for 15 echoes a pop. Story! So, a dusty glass of wine. Which is locked, so let's not worry about it. Visit the first curator. Z-Captains. The first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists, but even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. Sure, let's go visit him. Doo-doo. So we can listen to a whispered request. Z-Captain, silk skin, not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors, 7 colors. Pay, well. 7 colors, Cosmogone, Irigo, Pelican. Steward has list. Find them here and there, across the wide black Z. Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Venderbite. A long, low chuckling. Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know. The chuckling becomes a cough. We don't die here below, not unless we go to Z. So we needed something else, somewhere to end. So we can accept the commission. Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors. No more words. It collapses, rustling back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the fingers of light that reach across the room. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do this one last favor. I now have the Neathbow. And I have a whole bunch of pages, which each represent a different color. So now I'm trying to find things that are those colors. It will take a while to get all of them. In fact, I believe at least one of them is super endgame. So that's that. Gather gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? Along the coast of the Undersea, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gain a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. And now a port report. The last tour operator. Ho, Captain. Oh, okay. So I will need to have 12 supplies, which will all become 12 colonists. So I'll need to have more than 12 supplies. And then they're going to want to go to, I guess, probably 12 different locations. So we're not going to be able to do for a while. But that's it for now. Is there anything worth buying for cheap here? Nope. So we will not worry about it. And move on. Okay. So usually when I am starting out, I don't worry too much about what my first quest is, though I often hope that it will take me up this route, but frequently it doesn't. Because there's a whole bunch of cities and towns over here. Okay, yeah, so fuel. When this runs out, I lose a fuel barrel. Food. When I reach the middle, it will automatically feed the crew. If I don't have food, then it will go towards the end, and if it makes it all the way to the end, something bad will probably happen. Then here's our terror. So when you are near a light and you have your light on, your terror will become green and decrease. If you are not near a light or you have your light off, it will be orange and start increasing slowly. If you are not near a light and you have your light off, it will become red and it will increase much faster. Like, you're guaranteed to have a lot of loss of, or a lot of gain terror throughout the game. Okay, we actually got through here safely because there's a life, or a, yeah, it was a lifeberg, I think is what they're called. They're pretty tough, but if you have a fast enough ship, you can farm the hell out of them, and that's worth it. Okay, Wither. Behind a great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here, you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. So we can explore the town, gather intelligence, have shore leave. We don't really need shore leave. Let's gather intelligence, so we get another port report. Citizens of Wither enjoy questions so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Are you asking for any particular reason? At which time of day? Is that your hat? Maybe, or might it be 6? Could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. Alright, let's explore the town because we have a something awaits you. So let's see. So this is one of those times where, depending on why, like, or what your seed number is, you might get a different event happening. So Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. The wind speaks. You fall into a reverie as you wander the shore. There are words in the wind, a story of sorts, of a gate in the north, of a pale light that began there, of a drowned light that will end there, of a high wilderness that other ships may sail. You lift your eyes. On the wall of a salt works, someone has scrawled, "Is there a sea more sunless?" I've gained 10 fragments, and apparently Storm is still paying attention to me. Anything else for me to do here? Nope. So let's shove off. I think there's a spot up here worth getting. Okay, let us try to avoid the lifeberg. So the snow is actually slowing me down. Crap. It may have noticed. Yep, it is a lifeberg. Lifebergs aren't necessarily aggressive, but they can be. And as you can see, my terror is now red, so it's climbing much faster. Alright, Codex. Yeah, because I was in the snow, I could actually not bring my speed up to +2 or -2. Alright, after this one, I will start heading back south. Air trembles, a breath of change passes. And that means something is awaiting me. Isle of Codex. Codex, a desperate cave full of mute exiles and an inexplicable colony of shivering, bad-tempered monkeys. Compile a port report. No one will speak. This is a challenge. Silently forthright. The exiles see many come, fewer leave. Some are even willing to communicate, but their gestures are unfamiliar, the meanings unclear. Even when you can understand, there are answers without questions, as useless as a key without a lock. But I have a port report. So there's a doomed monster hunter here, and she needs a searing enigma in order to be talked to. And I think she will join your team if you bring one. Okay, let's send out the Z-Bat as we start heading south. No islands within range. Now, what will happen at some point is once I've a better handle on what islands are where, I will probably start turning off my light more because I don't really need to worry about noticing things or noticing places. That's a place. Yep, that's a rift. Alright, let's send the bat out again. No islands nearby. We enter the storm bones. Saint Eligus sends his fire to dance in the air. On deck. Very far away we see the great light of the Ragged Crow. Baked breeze rises. Improbable scent of stone out of a distant desert. You are close to the Salt Lions. Salt Lions is definitely one of the places we want to be near. But, so, as you enter different regions, the music will definitely change. Let's check the map quickly. Yeah, so see we cross this line, which means that the Salt Lions are somewhere in this area or this area. Oh, Salt Lions. Distance to the southeast. So now we can see it on the map. Nope. Do not want to deal with that thing. Actually, we're pretty low on fuel right now. I don't know if it's a good idea for us to go too far out of our way. But at least we now know it's directly east of that buoy. Alright, I think we can turn the light on now safely. But yeah, turning off the light is a great way to conserve fuel, but you'll increase your terror a lot higher, or a lot faster. Alright, what else are we seeing? Breath of Change passes. No islands nearby. Fed the crew. There's a good chance that we're getting really close to the Corsair's forest. It's usually around here-ish. We found some, what was it? Pure Wall Point, and we are near Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. Western angler crabs. Like, generally they're pretty easy to kill, but again, I need a bit better of a ship to do that. Oh, I think I just saw a ship in there. Okay, let's quickly stop here. The lightship. Oh, they like recent news, right? Lightship is just a nice little sort of shop outside. Okay, let's turn off the light because we're close to port at this point. This song's so good. Alright, so because we're on our last barrel of fuel. A couple of stories have popped up to try and help us get more fuel, but we're fine. Alright, so collect messages from the Harbor Master. If our terror is less than 50, and proposal from man of business is blank. If it was more than 50, you get the breath of relief instead. So, something has changed in the Neath. Not always sure what exactly that does. I think it just means that certain events are moving forward. Someone wants to sign on. That's all for now. You have won another day, a free evening. The Rose Market bustles on Roser's Wharf. Who will be there today? Lots of things going on. Okay, let's first go to the Admiralty office. Let's see what the Rose Market thing is, because I actually don't know what that is. I think it's new. Bustles on Roser's Wharf. Perhaps you can find a buyer for some curiosities you found at Z. It's always good to know what the options are. Tattooed Corsair will pay well for a consignment of Scintillac. But I don't know which one. Like, I don't know how much. Starving Poet is looking for Solace Fruit. So see how it says that Rose Market 26 and another day. The Rose Market no more than 50. You have 27. It means that this is one of those random numbers that will change and you'll have different things to buy. Escort some interested acquaintances to the Rose Market. Usher a new day at the Rose Market and perhaps new buyers. So, nah. Alright, so let's go to the Admiralty office. And now we can give our reports. So Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. So I get some echoes, not very many. I get an Admiralty favor because it's the first time I've gone there. And I get a fuel for making the report. Vanderbite. What have the nearly dead been up to then? So 10 echoes, 1 favor, 1 fuel. Wither. I refuse to ask any questions. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. 20 echoes, 1 favor, 1 fuel. And now the dark spectacled admiral has become available. Codex. Exiled for giving answers. That's Wither for you. Anything new? 20 echoes, 1 fuel, 1 favor, and accomplishment. Surveyed Codex. So that was all the place I've been to. So asked to speak to the dark spectacled admiral. Do you have an appointment? No appointment, but apparently I'm to show you in anyway. Very well. The dark spectacled admiral. You're ushered into his office off Mansion's Pyre, a cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across the desk. Ah yes, the merchant captain of whom we hear such complicated things. The admiral will purchase intelligence from you. So, you can ask him. You can spend some of his favor to get more fuel, which I probably will do. You also can use this favor to cheaply fix your ship, but fortunately I don't need to do that. So, oh, that takes me to the dry dock. Alright, we'll do that afterwards then. Let's go talk to him. Submit vital intelligence. What's that? Tell me quickly. So if I have vital intelligence, I can submit that to him. Submit your port reports. I've already done that. Submit a revelatory chart. Don't have any. Moves of the great game. Don't have any. Ask what he needs. So this is where he gives me a little sub-quest. Visit a port. We'll be interested in the port report. Visit places of particular interest, and we'll be interested in the strategic information you gain thereby. We'll pay you well. Don't worry. We understand you can't expect to act entirely for the love of the Empire. His lips curl. What's left of it? Oh, that wasn't what I wanted. Is that what I wanted? Port reports. Journal. Let's see, tomb columnist, bottom to sea. Admiralty Commission, yes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so right, they want me to go to Guiders Morn, right? I already have that from before. So let's go get some fuel at the dry dock. Okay, so in order to get 3, you need to have good hearts. Might not be worth it then. And then this is for repairs. So let's, yeah, we're good enough for now. Okay, other important things to do. Let's go get a new recruit. Who wants? So, different officers will show up every time. So the options here is a Carnelian Exile, who increases mirrors and pages. Or I can get Maybe's Daughter. Okay, so out of the way, let me show you. Maybe's Daughter. At the end of the rotting dock, a woman purchased on a suitcase. Both she and the suitcase are noticeably cleaner than everything else in view. Hello, where are you headed? On second thoughts, I don't mind. Can I come aboard? Yes, I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer in a hurry. So she will increase Vale's iron and engine power. She costs 30 echoes, and she costs 50 echoes. I think you can, yeah, you can only choose one per visit. Now, you'll notice here that the Carnelian Exile has the condition of unlocked with no more than 0 Carnelian Exiles. Maybe's Daughter has no more than 0 Nobody's Daughter, Maybe's Rival, and Maybe's Daughter. Some of the officers, when you start doing their story quest, will evolve in different ways, giving you hopefully better stats. This is one of those types of characters. So let's see, a better engineer or a better first officer. Mirrors and pages are useful to have, but so are iron and engine power. I'm going to go with the Carnelian Exile for now. So I spent 50 echoes, and now I have a Carnelian Exile. Yeah. So there she is. Mirrors go up by 6, pages up by 3, and now she's my first officer, and I could talk to her. I can invite her to dine with me, but I need a Searing Enigma to interest her. I can also spend secrets to have her increase my mirrors. I will not do that for now. And I can also answer questions about my past right now. I won't. And apparently if I have song, something can happen later. Oh, so there's 2 ways to talk to her. One is asking her to remove her glasses, and one is not doing that. But anyway, got some stats up for that. And I think I should probably buy some more fuel. I think food-wise we're actually pretty good still. Oh, that was perhaps dumb, because I think this guy's going to give me a bunch of stuff. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My what you might call mentor is very fond of adventurous sea captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation on account he's so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the docks stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Damn it, I shouldn't have done it. Alright, so I can either take it, I can inquire, or I can refuse. Let's inquire. Who is this patron? Is there a catch? An airy wave. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronized by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar, and public house, and there's no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. I'm going to take it, because that means I can go much further away. I totally did not need to, and I'm now apparently suspicious. I totally didn't need to buy fuel. I forgot. Okay, my lodgings get some news. And that should be that. I think I will call this a video, and we'll pick up next time. Till then, toodaloo. I'm playing a game!